Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Jaquel from LadybugNaturalSolutions.com, and you're listening to the Back to the Basics of Health and Wellness podcast. More people than ever are dealing with health-related issues like autoimmune diseases, high blood pressure, vitamin deficiencies, high cholesterol, and many other health-related issues. I sit down with doctors, licensed and certified practitioners to talk about strategies to improve one's well-being.
Daddy, it's time to start your podcast.
Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Today we got a good one for you. I have Miss LJ Johnson on the show today, and she's a certified women's health and nutrition coach focusing on nutrition and healthy habits to improve the quality of life for those suffering from diseases caused by hormonal imbalance like endometriosis, PCOS, insulin resistance, thyroid disease, fibroids, and obesity. Are you guys ready for this one? Get your notepads out and your pens ready, and let's get into it. Hey, LJ, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
All is well. I'm so excited to get into this conversation about endometriosis today as it affects so many women in today's world. Is it just African-American women, or do other women deal with this as well?
That is such a great question. So endometriosis is not a respecter of person. It doesn't care how much money you make, what color of skin, short, fat, tall, skinny, all of those. Endometriosis affects anyone and everyone that has a uterus, right? Typically, it's going to be in women. I know that can be very controversial at times to say that term. But yes, it affects all women, black, white, etc. It's so funny you start with that question because in the beginning, long time ago, right, there was lots of misconceptions about endometriosis, and that was one of them, that it was a white woman's disease, right? Then all of us black women like, hold up, there's something going on here, right? But that was one of the misconceptions, that women of color, had a higher pain tolerance, that we weren't susceptible to endo, and that it just wasn't taken seriously in our community.
Oh, wow. Nice. So there you have it, guys. Everybody, all women deal with this. I thought it was, honestly, because, I know a lot of black women who have endometriosis, live with endometriosis, and I just didn't know of any other races who dealt with that. So that's cool. Thank you for that. Thank you for that information. So let's get into let's get into the meat and potatoes. What made you become a health practitioner or a wellness practitioner?
Gosh, my health journey started a long time ago. At the age of 14 years old, I started having issues. And that is when it just really began my health journey, right? Like that was it for me. It took me 16 years to get diagnosed. I've always wanted to help people, help women. I've always been into health, wellness, and fitness. But I have to be very honest. Some people are like, oh, I went to school for this and it was just meant to be. Hey, I went to school for hormones and coaching and, psychology and got my doctorate and all that fun stuff and master's. But let me tell you, my own personal diagnosis rocked my freaking world, right? There is no other way to put it, right? So that is what led me into what I do right now. My own personal diagnosis, like I said, took me 16 years to get diagnosed. So I know what it's like to deal with the isolation, the loneliness, the gaslighting, the doctors telling you that you're making it up. Then you're crying in the car thinking you are making it up. Then you're thinking you're crazy. They're telling you you're crazy. Like I've been there, done that. And so I hate not to pat myself on the back, but that's what makes me such an amazing practitioner, that I not only have the book knowledge and the credentials, but I am an endo warrior. I wake up every single day at the age of 42 years old. Every day my feet hit the ground, I am managing the diagnosis of endometriosis among other autoimmune issues.
Oh, wow. Okay. So you have yourself endometriosis as well?
Yes, I do have the diagnosis. So it took me 16 years to get it. I got my diagnosis around 30 years old. And even when I got the diagnosis, I was relieved. A lot of us endo warriors can relate. You're relieved when you get the diagnosis. But the thing is, right, you get that throat punch right after, because then they're like, there is no cure. Yeah. Did you want to go back on all the pain pills, and did you want to go back on the birth control? And for me, that was heartbreaking, because I thought getting that diagnosis would lead to, here's a game plan. We want you to be better. But the diagnosis really led me back to the things that I'd been given all those years before as Band-Aids. It's really just, pelvic pain. You say the word pelvic pain or period pain. Yeah. Here's some birth control. Here's some pain management. Oh, it doesn't work. Then I guess it's time for a hysterectomy. So unfortunately, those were the options that I was handed.
Wow. And that's for a lot of women as well. So when you go down that route of, the birth control and the hysterectomies, that's like, no kids, basically, no childbirth and all of that. So that's taken away from basically the next generation. Am I right?
Yeah, let's talk about that, right? That's kind of a heavy hitter. I'm gonna dance on that fire a little bit longer.
Let's go.
So yes, let's get in it. Let's get in it. So here's the deal. I get excited about this, but this is my passion, right? Mm-hmm. So here is the deal. If you have period pain, right, and we'll even define endometriosis after I say all of this, or maybe let me define endometriosis first, because I think some people don't even know what we're talking about. They're like, okay, this sounds horrible. I don't even know what this is, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to say this a little louder for the people in the back. Endometriosis is uterine-like tissue. I'm going to say it 3 times. It's not period blood. It's not uterine lining. It is not endometrium. Endometriosis is uterine-like tissue found outside of the uterus. It is hormonally driven. It is chronic systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. It is not a reproductive disease. It is not period pain. It is something way worse, and it has autoimmune factors, right? So the biggest part of that definition that I want you to hold on to is chronic systemic inflammation throughout the entire body. The other thing that I want you to hold on to is that it's not uterine lining, right? So this is not a painful period. So I know people are like, oh, well, I have period pain and I still go to work and I do this, that, and the other. Congratulations, high five, and hallelujah to you, right? But period pain and endometriosis are 2 different things. Endometriosis could be passing out when you're having, your cycle, hot flashes, pain, bleeding and pain outside of your cycle, painful sex, right? Infertility. There are so many things that come in with endometriosis. And if you're listening to this podcast, I know that you'll have all the links available. Absolutely. Go check out my Instagram. Go check out my page. There are so many things that we have normalized, especially as Black women. We're strong Black women. We're just going to keep it pushing. Nothing's going to hold us down. But here's the deal. In the midst of that, we have normalized pain. We have normalized these things that happen. They may be common, but they are not normal, and you no longer have to deal with it, right? So that is what endometriosis is. Now, here's the deal. As a Black woman, when you go into the doctor and you're talking about pelvic pain and period pain, you get the same thing, the narcotics, the pain management, even if they offer anything, and then the birth control. Then when it's not working, or let's say you have something else tacked on like adenomyosis or fibroids, which fibroids typically come with endo. It's like a cousin. Thankfully, I didn't have to deal with that, but I did have the diagnosis of endometriosis. So then when you have that going on, the next thing they're going to bring is a hysterectomy to the table. Here's the deal. I want to circle back to my definition that endometriosis is not uterine lining. So here's the deal. If it's not uterine lining and it's not in your uterus, how would removing your uterus remove the endometriosis? I just want to pause there for a second, right? So that's one of the misconceptions, that hysterectomy is going to cure your endometriosis. And like you said, circling back to what you mentioned, yes, now we're messing with bloodlines, right? Because if every Black woman and every woman of color comes in with pelvic pain or period pain, and we're just all being given a hysterectomy, we're knocking out generations, right? We're talking about bloodlines. We're talking about nations, communities, families that are being removed. For example, in my family, my mother on her side of the family, lots of female issues, right? All of my aunts have had a hysterectomy besides my mother, right? So they all had children that eventually had the hysterectomy. But just think, if everyone on my mom's side of the family had these issues and had a hysterectomy, I wouldn't be here. My cousins wouldn't be here. My children wouldn't be here. My children's children, right? So there's a lot going on. I'm like, we could go on that. We could talk about that for an hour in itself, right? So even with what's going on right now with the whole pandemic, right, we have to be aware that having a hysterectomy, removing your uterus, is not always going to bring you the results that you want. And especially if you're dealing with endometriosis, it's not uterine lining. So removing your uterus is not going to cure your endometriosis. It can help with quality of life. If you're having chronic pain and bleeding, there's other things going on. But the endometriosis is not inside of your uterus. And so that is a very, very big point.
Wow. Nice. Nicely said. Hope y'all took some notes on that one right there. That's a lot of gems being dropped right there. When it comes to a hormonal balance, why is that so important for women these days? I know I know it's always been important, but especially now, well,
here's the deal. Our hormones run everything, right? When a woman has a bad attitude, she's like, oh, it's just my hormones. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just that time of the month, right? But here's the deal. Your hormones are the foundation of everything, right? Your gut health, your liver health, your mood. You could even take it as far as your success at work, your attitude, your everything. It all has to do with your hormones. So being hormonally balanced is needed to have great quality of life. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal. As women, especially Black women, nobody thinks about that. They're just like, girl, I got to lose 20 pounds. Girl, I'm so tired all the time. Oh, my back hurt. Oh, my this. Oh, my that, right? And once again, we start chasing the symptoms. We have acne. We want to run to the dermatologist. Yeah. We're bloated. We're gaining weight. We want to run to digestive health. Mm-hmm. But here's the deal. If you can balance your hormones naturally, all those symptoms that you spend all that time chasing, you can actually get rid of those by getting to the root problem. And so that's what I focus on as a practitioner, is really helping you get to the root of the problem of what's going on with that hormonal imbalance, right? Is there something going on in your gut? Is your liver sluggish? Do you just need to make some nutrition changes? Maybe you're taking a bunch of supplements, but your body is not uptaking and regulating and getting those nutrients, right? So that is why you really, yes, absolutely. So that is why you have to get back to the basics of hormonal health, because a lot of the things that you're dealing with, the aches and the pains and this and that you just chalked up to, oh, I'm just getting old, or, oh, I just had kids. Once again, it comes all back to hormonal imbalance.
Cool. Nice. And with hormonal imbalance, can a woman go to her doctor to get a hormonal test, to see like a panel to see where is she lacking, or what hormones are raging, which ones are suppressed, and things of that nature?
That is a good question. Yes. So your allopathic doctor, your everyday PCP, with Kaiser and Aetna, whoever you have, right? Mm-hmm. You can go and get a blood test. Here's the thing. The blood test is just going to tell you what's in the blood. The way I like to explain it is, when you're doing the blood test, there's nothing wrong with it, nothing against it, right? But it's just going to tell you what's in there. But it's going to be little pieces and molecules. When you think of estrogen, testosterone, all of these, I want you to think of a full circle. But as they start going through your liver, as your body changes, as things are not detoxing properly, you may have a full circle of something, a half circle of another, maybe another is like a third of a circle, the other one's like a weird triangle, then you got an octagon. So it's all there, right? You may have a bunch of them there, but if your body's not able to actually metabolize them and properly use them, right? So with the blood test, it's just going to tell you what's there. I like to take it a step further by doing a dried urine test, or the Dutch test, because that tells me what's actually there, how your body is using it and metabolizing it, and those detox pathways. That gives me the full picture, right? That's the difference in working with a functional practitioner versus working with, your doctor that basically makes money when you have return visits, right? Try this, come back in 6 months. Try this, try that. For me, on the natural side, right, I want to actually put you in the driver's seat, get you some real results, right? I don't want you to have to keep coming back. I want to get you healthy to where you have that strong foundation. So when you're doing the dried urine, we not only see what's going on, but we can take it a step further to really get you at those functional levels. So many times when you get that blood work, I'm sure you've all heard it. Oh, you're fine. Yep. Your levels are fine, but you're like, I don't feel fine. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm gaining weight. I got brain fog. I can't remember, I'm taking my kids, I'm going to the grocery store, can't remember why I went, like all of those things are happening. So my idea of health is really getting you to those functional levels where you're having that quality of life.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know what? Your energy, man, it just tells me that you're so passionate about what you do.
I am. I love it. I love it. I love
Yes,
it.
yes. I'm the same way when I talk about health and wellness to my clients and to other people. It's just like you get this rage of energy that just wants to like tell them everything they need to know, but people just
Yes.
they don't want to take it in for some reason. But hopefully you guys are taking
And
in this
sometimes
episode.
they have to. No, that's a good point. And sometimes you have to be at a right place, right? Sometimes
Absolutely.
you got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired, right?
Absolutely.
Everybody, I mean, I'm coming for y'all on this one. Everybody wants to set those January intentions, these resolutions, but it's April. How many of you are sticking with it, right?
Yes,
How many of you set these outrageous goals that you knew good and well you were not going to stick with, or you started with a couple of people and they fell off? So this is what I always say. You will make the changes when you're ready. But when you're ready, this is why you need to partner with a professional, because we can hold your feet to the fire. We will hold you accountable. We will give you the tools. You and Dr. Google and WebMD and a girl on TikTok with no certification is not going to help you get where you need to be, right? You need to come to the professional, like myself, like yourself, that can really help you get there. So that's all I'm saying is once you're ready to do the work, partner with someone. Don't do it alone for 5, 10, 15 years. Come to us because we can give you that blueprint and really speed that process up.
Absolutely, because these TikTok and YouTube people, they don't know you. They don't know what you're dealing with on a daily basis. You know, they don't know what you're eating. That you just taking this information. You're not cleansing yourself out before you're taking this advice. You just, let me just do this and knock it out. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Autoimmune disease. Is endometriosis considered an autoimmune disease?
So it is not. That is very controversial. I feel that it has autoimmune-like factors, and that's really what the research is showing. It's not necessarily classified as an autoimmune disease. Now, I know very many naturopaths and functional medicine physicians and practitioners that we believe it's autoimmune, but it is not technically classified as one. But some doctors will, classify it as autoimmune, but technically no.
Okay. But is it inflammatory?
Yes, it is chronic systemic inflammation throughout your entire body. And that's what people have to remember, because just because you have a surgery and have the lesions removed and this, that, and the other, you have to still make the lifestyle changes. You have to still support your nutrition, your fitness, your detoxification, getting those toxins out of your body, stopping some of your favorite perfumes and cleaning with bleach and all these little things that we thought don't matter, because that toxic load is making a difference.
Absolutely. These plastics, the foods that you're eating.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
A
Cute water bottles, all of it.
Yep. A lot of the foods they're putting, they're changing your hormones as you drink out of them, as you eat some of these foods. So you got to know what you're eating. You got to know what you're putting in your body, and you have to know what you're putting on your body as well.
Yes. Those xenoestrogens are real. They mimic estrogen, right?
Yes.
So some of you are estrogen dominant, or, you maybe are dealing with fibroids or endometriosis, or maybe you're like, I don't think I have any of these, but you're listening to this podcast and you're like, maybe there's something going on. I'm telling you, the toxins, the hot dogs, all the fun stuff, all that extra cushion for the pushing on the hips and the thighs, that is holding toxins. That body fat are holding toxins, and that can really make a difference in your healing journey.
Absolutely. So ladies, be careful what you're eating. Look at those labels, read those labels. I did a podcast on labels. I've talked to doctors about labels on the podcast. So you have to read those labels and know what you are putting into the body. Quick question. Is it 1 in 10 or 1 in 5?
Oh my gosh. Oh man. So the research says 1 in 10, but here's the deal. It's controversial. You know what? I'm going to throw myself in the hot seat. I don't feel that 1 in 10 is accurate.
Okay.
I feel it's closer to 1 in 5, 1 in 8. And that is just my personal opinion, because a lot of people have not gotten the diagnosis. They're waiting on the diagnosis. They're going to these doctors who don't believe them. They're crying in pain. They're running back and forth to the ER. So that 1 in 10 is really based on those who have been diagnosed. We have to think about those people that have those disparities, people of color that are fighting to get the diagnosis, those who do not know that bleeding, hemorrhaging out and having these murder scene periods and all these problems, that don't know that this is not normal. Yeah. So that is a very, very good question. I feel that 1 in 10 was accurate. I do feel it's closer to probably a 1 in 8, a 1 in 5 right now.
Cool. What's up with the womb warrior community?
Yes, the Womb Warrior community, that is my baby, right? So yes, I do one-on-one coaching, I do group coaching and all of that, but I wanted something at a really nice, affordable price point, right? Because some people are like, okay, I'm ready to make the changes, but maybe I don't want to spend, all this time, effort, and energy. I don't have time for the one-on-one coaching. The Womb Warrior community is for everybody. It is $17.99 at this moment. Now, I don't know when you're going to listen to this podcast because I know podcasts live forever.
Yes.
But all I got to say is jump on it now because it's $17.99. But here's the deal. Every week you get exclusive content from me, not the same stuff you see on my Instagram and my TikTok, actual stuff. The last things that we've been talking about are pelvic release, right? Maybe you're dealing with pelvic pain. I put a pelvic pain video with a physical therapist. If you're dealing with endometriosis pain, nutrition issues, all of that, I am giving you one-on-one basically coaching every single week. So you get an email, you get a post. So that is part of the Womb Warrior community, and you have support of everyone else, right? Because this is a very lonely journey. Some of you are listening right now, and you're like, I can't believe she's been so open and just talking about everything. And I'm like, yes, because this is what I needed. When I was younger, in my 20s, having children, having pain, all of these issues, I didn't have that support. And so that is my goal, to really offer that support. And so that is what you get with the Womb Warrior community. And that's an amazing resource for anyone that's dealing with any type of hormonal imbalances. Maybe it's not endometriosis, maybe it's PCOS, maybe it's fibroids, maybe there's something else going on, but it is available for everyone to come in and learn.
And LJ will be back to talk about those other ones, PCOS and the other hormonal issues that women are dealing with. So we're definitely gonna come back and talk about those one-on-one and get down to the nitty-gritty of all of that. Good stuff. Why don't people want to do the work these days?
Here's the deal. We want Instacart easy. We want Amazon. I could hop on the app right now, tell them I want something. I'll be here in 3 hours, and all I got to do is pay an extra $2.99. And so here's the deal. You have to remember that endometriosis is a chronic illness, right? So it is something that you're going to be managing daily, right? Not just during the month of March when it's Endo Awareness Month. I appreciate all the support, love, and everything we get, but this is something we deal with 24/7, 365, right? All of the time. So you need to have the support, you need to have the training, but let's be honest, it's hard, it's tough, right? There's nothing easy about managing it, but what you need to remember is the same way your flares show up and show out on a regular basis, the same consistency that the pain has in your body and your knees and your back, the painful sex, all of that, is the same amount of consistency that you have to bring to do the work. And so that's why I tell people I offer tons of services, right? But only come to me for the one-on-one coaching when you're ready to get down to the nitty-gritty and do that work, right? Now, maybe you're listening to this podcast and you're like, I may not be ready for you, LJ. You're a little too intense. Not to worry. We'll have all the information available. You can grab my endometriosis workbook, grab that ebook, download it, share it with your partner, share it with your employer, use it for yourself to really guide you and help you get some of these wins while you're managing your symptoms. But a lot of people, honestly, they just don't want to do the hard work. They want it if it's easy, right? They don't want to make the nutrition changes. A lot of people are also discouraged. And I'm going to be honest, it's because you've been doing it on your own and doing all the research on your own. So you've been trying a little bit of this, trying a little bit of that, a dabble here, a dabble there. And now you're like, this healthy eating doesn't work. Well, it's not that healthy eating doesn't work. It's just that you're doing the research on your own. You need someone that has the results, right? That proven methods is what you're looking for. So that's why I tell everyone, I love Instagram. I love all these amazing social media platforms, but you can't DIY your own healing protocol. And if you do, it's going to take you 10, 15, 20 years longer than getting with a professional that has that roadmap.
Yes. Got to get the map. Ladies and gentlemen. If you don't have the map, you can't really go anywhere without the map. So definitely look into that, and I'll definitely have that information available for you guys in the show notes. What are women lacking nutritionally these days?
Wow. You know what? I would just say an overall lack of nutrients. We all want the quick and on the go. Yeah. Nobody wants to do the old school Betty Crocker, Martha Stewart. Nobody wants to do the home cooked meals. Yep. We want to go to Sprouts. We want to go to Whole Paycheck, aka Whole Foods. If it came from a health food store, it must be okay.
Yes.
But here's the deal. A lot of us are nutrient deficient. And here's the thing. Maybe your hair is thinning. I'll just grab that. Most of you will go onto Amazon right now, see a vitamin thing, see a TikTok, whatever, buy a supplement, buy a shampoo. You won't once think, what food could I be eating to help with my hair, nails, and skin, right? Could I bring in collagen protein, right? Could I remove, a couple of these, maybe you're putting a relaxer on your hair every second. You're putting a bunch of chemicals in your hair. And I'm like, don't get me on those relaxers, because that's where my fibroid worries come in, right?
Wow.
Because a lot of you, and not saying that you've done it to yourself, but once your body meets that toxic load, that's what happens, right? So it's really just changing our mindset that nutrition and all these things are key, but we've got to be willing, like you said, circling back, to do the work, right? It's okay to know that there's an issue, but you've got to really and truly decide that you want to make those changes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And with those changes, you ladies, you got to look into your body. You got to know your body. You got to feel your body. You got to understand your body. And that's what LJ is there for. So you can go to her and get all those tips and tricks to understand who you are and what you're dealing with, to overcome some of that stuff. So make sure
body awareness is key.
It definitely is. Key. It definitely is. Because sometimes I take certain things and I feel them, and people are like, how do you feel that? And I'm like, I am in tune with my body. So, I cleanse myself. I eat the right foods. I drink the right things. I like to enjoy some alcoholic beverages every now and then. I'm human. I'm a human person. So, but you still have to come back to the fundamentals so you know what you are actually dealing with. Yes.
Absolutely. And you have to be aware of your body, and that takes time. And for some people, maybe the body awareness is new for you. Mm-hmm. I would say just start old school journaling it. I mean, I know me, sometimes journaling is writing it down. I'm like, I'm too busy for that. Now, I'll grab me a Google Doc, get on my phone, and talk text all day long, and I'll just talk out what was going on for the day, and at least I'm able to refer back to it. Because once again, when you're dealing with these issues of endometriosis, PCOS, and fibroids, you're talking about something you're going to be managing for a good minute, right? Mm-hmm. Endometriosis is not going to leave. Now, I'm not saying you can't have quality of life, but there's going to be some work, and so you need to become aware of your body. When I eat this, I feel amazing. When I eat super late at night, the next morning it's hard for me to wake up, wake up for work. Or, hey, when I drink 4 cups of coffee, I don't sleep well at night. But when I only have 2, or when I have no coffee, I feel amazing, right? It's being aware of your body. But some people, like I said, you've been sick and tired for so long, you don't even know what that normal baseline is, right? And so that's when I say you need to partner with someone to just really get a grasp on what's normal, and then really kind of see what you've just learned to accept over the years.
True indeed. And ladies, or African or Black women, the Crown Act has just been passed, so you can wear that natural hair now and don't have to put all those chemicals in there, and go from there with it.
Absolutely.
And can you talk about really quickly, or whatever, it don't have to be quick. Can you talk about the 90-minute hormone reset?
Yes, the 90-minute hormone reset, that's my baby. I love it because, like I said, sometimes you're ready to put in the work and you want to meet with me on a weekly basis. You're ready to do the testing. You're ready to do the gut health. You're like, LJ, I'm all in. And then sometimes you're like, you know what? I may not want all that, but I do know that there's something going wrong. That 90-minute hormone reset, you can come to me. We'll do that Dutch test, and then we'll really do a quick snapshot, right? You get 90 minutes to pick my brain, but here's the deal. We're not going to be wasting time. You are going to walk away with that 90-minute appointment with nutrition changes, things you need to be doing to detox your body. We're going to talk about the mental health. Like, you're going to basically get a sample of everything I bring to the table in that 90-minute hormone reset. Now, some of you, once again, aren't ready for the testing. You don't want to do the dry urine. You're just like, hey, LJ, I've got fibroids. What can I do? What do you know that I don't know, right? So that is at one price. Then I've got the hormone reset where we do the Dutch test, which I always highly recommend. But like I said, it's not for everyone. But that really does help me really just sniper down more specific changes you need to make. And it also helps me make some really phenomenal supplement recommendations.
Beautiful. But last but not least, what are your top 3 words of advice to women who are dealing with some more hormonal issues?
First thing, do not stop. Oh my gosh, I wish I could yell this one. Don't stop till you get the answers that you need. If you know something is going on with your body, do not back down until you get the answers. I don't care if you got to fire your practitioner. I don't care if mom and them and you guys have been going for 35 years. I don't care, right? Ooh. What I'm saying is, if you're not getting the answers, I just gave myself chills on that one. If you're not getting the answers, that you deserve to prioritize your health, it's time to go. It's time to get another doctor.
Yes.
Second, right? You deserve quality of life. Many times we're like, we don't deserve it. It's too much work. Whatever it may be, there's a lot of mental health and self-esteem stuff that rolls into it. And we just start accepting this crap. Like, this is just how it's going to be. You deserve health, right? Number 3, small changes equal big results. Everything doesn't happen overnight, right? The quality of life I have now and this energy and all these amazing things that I'm doing, this is where I'm at now, but I've been doing the work for years. I was the person that was passing out at work, passing out during bowel movements, crawling upstairs because I didn't have the energy to go, like sleeping on the couch for weeks at a time because I was in a flare and I didn't have the energy to walk upstairs, right? I was a single parent raising 2 children, trying to explain to a judge that I wasn't a bad parent, but that I had endometriosis, right? That I wasn't a, drug-thinking pain pill person, that I really had a, incurable disease. I was that person. But here's the deal. You have to start today. I'm going to say that's tip number 4. You get the bonus, right?
Let's go.
Yes, you deserve the health, but here's the deal. You have to start today. Maybe it's just making a tiny nutrition change. Maybe it's just getting away from some toxic people, right? Like, whatever it is, leave this conversation today. Do not beat yourself up would be my closing point. Find something that you can do today and start it today. If you're ready to do the work, come on, let's go. We can do that one-on-one coaching. Maybe you're not ready for that and you're like, hey, I want to do baby steps. Great. Go to my website, grab my women's liver detox tea, right? Get my detox tea. Get a couple of my products. Start getting some wins. Start getting your energies up and then take it from there. But you need to commit today and you have to start today.
Wow. That was heavy.
What can I say?
Start small and grow, people. Start small and grow, and you will definitely feel the results. You don't have to go big. You can start small and crawl before you walk and do all of those things. LJ, thank you so very much for blessing my audience with your expertise on this endometriosis today. I look forward to speaking to you again, talking about some PCOS and getting that information out there. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, LJ Johnson, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye. Hey, folks, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post it on your social media, or leave a rating and a review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on Facebook at Ladybug Natural Solutions or Jaquel Winbush, and on Twitter at Ladybug Natural Solutions. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Have a great one, everybody.